The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah. They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
Father, you are the God of Abraham, Jacob, and Isaac, the ancient of days. Trouble may come, but we stand on the rock. The winds may blow, but we ain't gonna stop. We lift up his name, morning, noon, and night. Walking in.
All right, welcome to Remark. It's your boy Mr. Beads here on this blessed Sunday. The weather outside is looking really, really nice and warm. And for all my visitors in town, you know, I hope you're enjoying the Bahamas. For those of you who are listening, and for those of you who went to church today, for those of you who are at the beach, you know, just listening online. For those of you who are just chilling at home watching a good movie, yeah, welcome to Remark, man. Welcome to Remark, and we got some great guests in the studio with us today, and we're going to be talking about a big topic, all things men. So today is Men Talk. As we get closer and closer to Father's Day, we are going to be bigging up the men, and we're also going to be digging up the men. So we're gonna make them responsible, but we're also going to give them their flowers where they need it. So here in the studio today with me, I got some amazing men in the Bahamas who are. These guys are family men. These guys do stuff in the community, and these guys have even been recognized internationally for their work, and they are continuing the good work in our society. And I believe in highlighting men like these men, because I think a lot of times in our society we always or only focus on the negative men, you know, the things that men do that are negative in our society. And so today, we got some great men in the studio, and these men are well-rounded, man. They are qualified to talk on so many different. If you're tuning in and you want to call in today and share your 5 cents with us today, the numbers are 323-62, 325-4316, 325-4259. If you're listening from the family of islands, 300-5720. And if you want to text and tell us how you feel via text, we got 422-96. So today here on Remark, we're talking all things men. And in the studio, we have 3 amazing gentlemen. I'll start to my right. We have Mr. Lorenzo Strawn. Straight ahead in front of me, we have Mr. Landlord, Orlando Miller. Some of you know him from the music world and the broadcasting world. And then we also have my good friend, Mr. Ian Thompson. He is an amazing guy in our society and been working with men for many years, boys, etc. And so we're going to go to a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to get into all things men. But before we do that, I just want these guys quickly just let the public know who you are and what you do in society. You know, not too much information, but just give them like a backdrop of who you are. So I'll start with my friend Lorenzo Strawn. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Good day, all. Good day, Bahamas. My name is Lorenzo Strawn. I wear many hats. Firstly, I'm a believer in Christ. I'm a minister of the gospel. I am a father. I'm a husband. I'm a school teacher. I'm a professional artist. I'm also a businessman. And I'm a proud Bahamian.
Awesome. I like that. Proud Bahamian. That's what I'm talking about. And he wears many hats, as you heard. Up next, we got Mr. Ian Thompson. Let us know who you are, what you do. Just tell the Bahamian public a little bit about yourself.
You introduced me before, the one and only landlord. I thought you was going to stay true to form. First of all, I'd like to say that for being here today, I heard you open up by speaking about it so highly. I'm very humbled by that, Mr. Beads. Secondly, I consider myself to be a son of God. nothing more, nothing less. Like my good brother, Mr. Strawn, I am a father. I am a husband. I am a businessman. I am, in my mind, a professional basketball player.
Yes. I can see that.
Yeah, I love the game of basketball. That's one of my hobbies. But most of all, I guess I'd say I love to see progression.
Boom. I like
I love
that.
to see progression. I like to see progression in people, in particularly men, the male seed.
All right.
Awesome.
And then last but not least, we got the one and only Mr. We Need Peace, Mr. Landlord Orlando Miller. Talk to the people.
Good day, Bahamas. It's your boy, Landlord Orlando Miller. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a radio host, TV host, gospel artist. I do promotions for artists locally, internationally, a businessman, and so.
Beautiful. So, Chris, we want to go to a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll get into this hot topic for the day, man. We want y'all to stay tuned. Don't miss it. This one is going to be, in the words of Darryl Miller, provocative. We'll be back.
Don't you lose your faith, let's be on one accord. Many are falling away, said the faith in reclaim it's a white man's trick, a system to steal. But do you know the story? Hear what I say. But Queen of Sheba, who came a long way, she sat with Solomon with wisdom and grace. From Ethiopia, she carried the faith. Way before the ships, way before the chains. She knew God's name. No shackles, no pain, no chains, no masters, no white man's pants. She raised up a nation.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour where available. Our Star General Gold package also gives you up to $2,500 for accidental damage to a rental car anywhere in the Bahamas. Go gold with Star General. Insurance made simple.
Beulah gal, can you believe this? We are now the patrol queens of the neighborhood.
We now large and in charge. So we need to check out what's going on in everybody's yard. What about that gun that we know that Junior and his homeboys just ran out? Can we report that too?
Of course we can.
But we could be in deep trouble if they find out.
We need to report what we see, Beulah. Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami.
So then we can report everything? Guns, where they hiding the drugs, who shoot who part of which gang, or who disturbing the peace with the loud music and the motorcycles.
Then our neighborhood will be the best in the Bahamas. And everybody gonna want to come live here. And then our house price will go up, gal.
So what we waiting?
You see something, say something. Let us all pitch in and stop the crime before it's your time. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. Or text us through the Crack Crime Bahamas app. Stop the crime before it's your time.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
To my brothers and sisters in Jamaica, the Bahamas, St. Lucia, Dominica, Haiti, and every island that went through a storm. Don't lose hope. The same God who spoke peace to the winds before.
And welcome back to Remark. You're listening to the sounds of the one and only Bahamian superstar, Landlord Orlando Miller. A man that wears many, many hats in our community. Always been a positive person, always been giving back to our community. And you got him here in the studio today, man. So feel free to call in, man. Once again, the phone lines are 323-6232, 325-425-4259. If you're calling from the Family Islands, we got 300-5720. And if you want to text and give us your 5 cents, 422-4796. So, guys, today we're talking all things men, and we want to keep this engaging. We want to keep this exciting. But the first question I want to ask is, what does it mean? First of all, what is a real man? Let's start with that. Because, growing up, I always used to hear older men and women and different people say, you know what, we need more real men in our society, man. Real men. Real. And then so, to me, in my crazy brain, if we need real men, that means that they're fake men. Right? And we can touch on fake men too, you know. So, but we want to start off by, you know, everybody give their fair view of what they think a real man is. Anyone of y'all could chime in at any time.
I think that being a real man is really handling your responsibility.
Okay.
Stepping up to the plate and doing what you got to do as a man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because a lot of times we all have we could choose to sit back, hang out on the wall, and you know, be like others. But being a real man is stepping up, doing what you got to do to take care of your family. Because what I realize is your first ministry ain't evangelism.
Okay.
It ain't going to church. Your first ministry is taking care of your family.
Okay.
And your family is your number one responsibility. And I mean in all things, just being responsible. Because a lot of times we don't want to be responsible. Even when you're wrong, know how to step up and say, you know something, I was wrong. Forgive me.
Yeah.
That's being a real man.
Real
Even,
man.
like, you know, because we all ain't perfect. We make mistakes. And that is my definition of being a real man.
So now you mentioned something that I thought was very pertinent. You said that a real man, first responsibility should be taking care of his family.
His family.
So what if there's a man listening to this today that doesn't have a family?
Who doesn't have everyone?
No, when I say family, okay, let's qualify what you meant when you say family.
Yeah, husband. Yeah, I get your point.
So you're talking about like a father, wife.
Yes.
I mean a husband or wife,
Yes.
children.
Yeah.
Your family in that regard, not your auntie, your uncle, your cousin, them and stuff like that.
But whatever responsibility that you have, you need to step up to the plate and deal with it.
And deal with that
being
one.
a real man.
And being a real man. Okay.
Being a man to honor your word, you let your yea be yea. You know, you know if you say you're gonna do something, you stick by it.
Yeah.
You know, that's being a
Well,
real
that's hard.
man. Yeah.
Because most people, just as simple as Bahamians telling you they can call you back, you don't have to. So, so keeping your word is a tough one.
A few times I gave people my word on certain things, and something came up, and because of I gave them my word, I had to honor that, even though it was
right.
That's
You
being
still kept
real.
it.
Yeah, you have to be a real man. You have to be able to step up and take responsibility. And I see a lot of men just have to step up to the plate and take responsibility, admit when they're wrong, and move on and keep working on yourself, because, you know, we all don't have it together as men.
Right.
We all struggle with issues mentally, financially, and we like to have things. We are thinkers, and we are the providers, protectors. We want to have things on lock. We want to be able to take care, you know, certain responsibility. And when things ain't going the way we want it to go, we start to just stress over it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then how do we deal with that? Some of us deal with it in different ways. And so that's where sometimes we go off and, you know, we, you know, self-destruct.
Right.
You know?
Beautiful. I love that. So responsibility is the key word that I'm hearing with landlord. Whether you have a wife, children, or whatever, whatever your responsibilities are, landlord is saying that, hey, being a man is prioritizing those things and taking care of them. Anybody else want to touch on that? What does it mean to be a real man?
Well, let me chime in on that. If you look at how we're built, even physically,
okay,
we're built to protect. So I'll firstly say a man is the protector.
Okay.
If you're in the home, case in point, me and my wife in the bed, and we hear some noise 3 o'clock in the morning, I can't expect my wife to go get up and do that.
Wow.
I'm built physically.
So even if she's bigger and thicker and stronger than you?
Even if she's bigger and thicker, she still ain't stronger.
Okay.
She may be bigger.
Why know some strong guys?
Yeah, you know some strong guys. But we're still built, and I'm talking about the general.
Okay.
You know.
Just checking. There might be a man on this who wife or woman, right? And he wife bigger than him.
I got that.
And
But
he
still,
was forced to be in that relationship because of her size. Just checking.
with the physical ability, we have also a mentality. You know, we have a mentality as men. We are tougher
Right.
We're not built emotionally as women are. Yes, we do have emotions, but we're more logical. And God
Right.
made
Yes,
us that
yes,
way to
yes,
lead.
yes, yes,
You
yes,
see?
yes.
So firstly, I'll say real men are protectors.
Protectors. Okay. I like that. I like
Real
that.
men are leaders. Anytime you see a woman, she will lead.
That's true.
Yes,
That's
women
true.
will lead.
That's true.
I have a lot of strong women in my family. Both of my grandmothers, very strong women. My mother is a very strong woman. My wife is a very strong woman. My sisters, thank you, very strong women. But they all will prefer their man to lead.
Right.
All
That
of
is true.
them.
That's true. And
I believe that's the breakdown of the society. Where men fail to lead, women have to come in. But that's like a co-pilot
Pick up the slack.
piloting the plane because
Right.
the pilot fell asleep.
Right.
You see, the pilot was originally bought on the plane to fly the plane.
Yeah. Right.
And so is it God put men in place to want to lead, to protect, and second, and then thirdly, to instruct or to teach.
Right.
You see, a woman, she can teach. Like I said earlier, I'm a teacher by profession. There's something that always comes across my table, always. Mr. Strawn, we need more men in the field of teaching. Women will teach and children get it. But when a man instructs, it's different.
Yeah, that's true.
Simple, even with discipline. You look at how many times the girl was corrected by the mother. Let the daddy correct him once.
That's true.
It's a big
That's true.
difference.
Yeah.
You see, because that's even built in children. Children know, hold on, when daddy talks, that's it. So because men are missing, we have a breakdown in society on so many levels.
So yeah, I appreciate that, man. Listen, you made a ton of sense with that. So what I'm basically hearing from you is men are protectors. A real man is a protector, and a real man is also a leader. All right, Mr. Thompson, Ian Thompson, what you got to say on this subject, man? It's a hot topic right now.
Well,
what is a real man to you? What is a real man?
After these two gentlemen, I ain't sure there's much to say. But I'll try my best. I think landlord said it well. He spoke to responsibility, and I think that speaks to the family aspect. And then my brother, Enzo, here you spoke about it as being, I guess, the physical makeup of how we made up, to protect and to hold strong. I guess I've been given the call to speak to it.
Okay.
A real man is a real worshiper of God.
Wow.
He really loves God. The idea of manhood, and when you break down the term of manhood, you think about man, who he is, and his tri being, which is spirit, soul, and body. And you think about a hood. When I think about a hood, I think about covering.
Covering, yeah.
So when you put those two together, a man that has dedicated his life to remain under the covering of the Most High.
Okay, I like that.
That is
I like
a
that.
real
I like that.
man. And that starts first with him before it progresses into a family. My acronym for real is righteous, empowered, anointed, leader. That's
Say that one more time for people in the
righteous,
back.
empowered, anointed, leader.
Righteous, empowered.
Yeah, one that is
anointed leader.
one that stands on the righteous, not his own, the righteousness of God. One that is empowered, one that has been given not just a gift or not just a gift or a charge. He's been given the grace. He's been given an empowerment to do what he's called to do, an authority. I put it that way. And one that is anointed, one that has the virtue to do so, and then one who is called to lead with justice and equity, like the Word of God says.
Yes, sir.
So I
Appreciate that,
believe
man.
Simply, that's what a real man is.
So
from a
y'all tied it
spiritual
up.
side.
So landlord talked about responsibility, taking care of that. Lorenzo, he touched on protection. He touched on something too, which is a key word, logic, with strong logic. You touch on, and you talked a little bit about teaching as well. You talk about spiritual covering, submitting to the Most High. The phone lines, I think we got a caller. Caller, are you there? Welcome to Remark.
The B.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, to your guest. Well, I can take it the way how God see it. God see a real man that fear him, a real man that take care of his children, a real man. If him and his wife, by any chance, get separated, he will still go and take care of his children.
Right.
A real man don't slap around his wife.
Wow.
A real man always is a protector of that home. You see? So that's how I see a real man.
Real man, yeah.
We could talk it, but if we don't have that fear for the Lord, we will not know how to run our household. You see?
Yeah.
So a real man, when it comes down to that woman is ailing and pain or whatever, and he don't try to put no pressure on her or try to quote no scripture to her just to get a body or whatever and stuff like that. He forbear with her. He goes with her because why? Woman being the weaker vessel, he will know how to deal with her. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. I appreciate
Thank
your
you.
comments. Thank you for calling in. Gents, yeah, he touched on a lot of good stuff. He said real men don't beat women. Real men, you know, they do a lot of different things that he listed off there, which I think are very good. But he also touched on something about taking care of your kids. Now, I don't know how. I want to ask a question because, you know, like I said, we want to talk to men from all different situations, backgrounds. There are men who I have worked with, who in my family, who have with taking care of their children from different angles. But the angle that I want to touch on is, what do you guys say to a man out there who may be listening to us? He say, you know what? I really want to be there for my child, but my baby mother is preventing me, or the courts, or whatever. He having an issue spending time, reaching out to his child. What would you say to him? What advice would you give to him? Any guy who may be in that situation. Anybody have anything to say on that?
Well,
because I know that there are men, because for men who I've met, I've met men who've told me personally, listen, I've been trying, but I've been having problems because the courts, I've been having problems because of my baby mama, you know, or the family or whatever. You know, what words of hope or advice would you give to a guy who might find himself listening to us today or in that same situation?
Well, I'll say there are several routes a man can take if he's being shut out of his child's life and he would like to engage in his child's upbringing. One, the family.
Okay.
The parents of the mother, the grandparents, that is.
Right.
If he touches a chord with them and let them know from a sincere point, hey, you know, your daughter and I may not be together, but however, the boy or the girl, that's still my child,
Right.
and I have to play a role in this child's life. Because before you know it, children grow up into adults before you turn around. So I think one of the avenues that a man could take would be the family.
Okay.
That doesn't necessarily have to be only the grandparents. That could be the sister or the brother, anybody who you know has the ear of the mother.
Right.
Good point.
He could use that avenue and soften that situation up, and before you know it, he can get an audience with the child. Because really and truly, except the mother is still in love with him and he left her and has somebody else, other than that, you know, when she really sits down and listens to real logic, she'd understand that the child is at stake here.
Yeah.
So any woman with sense would want the child to be in the father's life, except the father's of him. Say he molested the child, then that's a whole different
story,
situation.
yeah.
But if it's a normal situation, you are a good man just trying to be a good father, then that's one of the routes you can take. Another route is the courts.
Okay.
The courts. Now, I can tell you, most men don't have that problem where you have to go to court.
Okay.
But should you have to go to court, in most cases, the judge will favor you to have an audience with your child.
Okay.
Because that's your child.
Right.
Especially if you are required to pay some form of child support.
Right.
You can't be giving the child money. You can't see the child.
Right.
You know, so you put in with the judge, Your Honor, I would like to see my child, X, Y, Z, this amount of days, whatever, for this amount of time. The mother is making it hard. I just want to be cordial with her. We've decided to, you know, go our separate ways, but I have to be in my child's life. And the courts will make sure that the child has an audience with you.
Okay.
That's another route.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, pray.
Pray.
The Bible says the heart of the king is in the hand, turns it like a river. So come on, God could turn anybody's heart to give you favor. So ask God, Lord, give me favor with this woman. Touch this woman's heart. Cause her to see the need, while me as the dad, as the father, have to be in my child's life.
Beautiful. I love that, man. That's some excellent advice. Would anybody else want to comment on that?
I just would like to, say Lorenzo made some very great points because, I know a few brethren of mine who go through situations like that, and a lot of women, they weaponize the children against their father, and they are going through they're using the same points that Lorenzo suggested, and I've seen it being working.
Wow.
Going through the courts or going through the family, someone of the heirs of the mother.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, when situations like that happen, it does not only affect the mother and the father, it affects the kids.
Yes.
And a lot grow up being the person that is most affected. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we just have to be mature, mothers and fathers, husband, wives, whatever the situation is, just have to be mature enough to know how to deal with the situation. And even if you're not together, at least allow the father to have, some type of, space and spend time, in that child life.
Another thing I noticed too, I've spoken with people who claim that their mom and their dad didn't have a good relationship when they was growing up, and their mom kept them away from their dad. But a lot of them ended up resenting their mother when they became old enough to understand what was going on, and it pushed them closer to their daddy. You see what I'm saying? And so, for women listening, if you find yourself in that situation, I think that's something that you should consider, if you really love your child, because the way God designed humans, we need the balance of a male and we need the balance of a female.
But I know of some situations of some females who were excellent when it comes down to that type of situation.
Right.
They didn't have no problem with their epic of the child, and they made it very easy.
Yes. Kudos to those women out there. Yeah.
And I realized that the kids were more happy.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And so, I think that a lot of women, if you're going through situations like that, allow the dad, especially if he's not be a good husband or good boyfriend. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
At least allow him to be a good
dad.
father.
That's true. That is true.
Yes.
Ian, you want to say anything about that?
Again, there's very little space on the table. I'll just chime in from my experience as a young man growing up. I watched my father, my late father. He fought for the opportunity to be in the life of my last brother. So much that he went to the courts to try to get. But I guess because after I would have heard from the landlord and then my brother Strawn here, to me, I think you kind of exhaust all of the avenues with that. The only thing I would add to that is, because I've encountered a few persons myself, they confide in me with that, is to humble yourself. I think, because I watch my dad.
When you say humble, you mean the man or the woman?
The man. And it's a difficult thing, I guess, for a man to hear that, probably, particularly if he is a good father and he's not doing anything wrong. But I know the word still says, if you do so, he will exalt you, he will lift you out of that situation. So humility is definitely the posture a man should take when he approaches either the family, because he can't say, man, look, man, surely we can just take out money to see how. You can't go around grandma, your brother, sister, running over, that kind of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that dog can get slammed in your face. You can feel the wind and drop. God help you, they get AC in your face. But humble yourself. So whatever approach you decide to take, humble yourself. If you have access to your spouse or your former lady, and take that approach. I still believe in the word. The soft answer turns away wrath. So even if she is still hard in some degree and so on and so forth, if you humble yourself and approach that situation, you maintain that posture of humility that your child could also see that. It's going to be beneficial, because at the end of the day, there are no winners in that equation when you find that a father is not in the life of his kids, and particularly a young male seed. And I can tell you, because I've been working in that kind of field of work for years now, so I've seen the devastating effect of when a man is not allowed to to be involved in his child's life. So,
yeah, man. I want us to think about something before we go to a break. You know, landlord talked about being, you know, the father and the mother, Lorenzo as well. All three of you talked about the mother and father playing a role in the child's life. My question is that always, is that the best way in the climate that we live in nowadays for both parents to have a positive effect in that child's life? Is marriage the answer for that? To say, hey, the father and the mother should be married in order for them to raise this child to be the best child that they could be. Before we get to that, let's take a break and we'll come back and we'll discuss that after the break.
When the darkness tries to hide the light, His mercy still breaks through the night. We will rise again through the storm and wind, 'cause our faith in God will never bend. From Kingston town to Nassau shore, we're Caribbean strong. Forevermore, forevermore. A mother crying, but still she prays.
Investing? Check. But what if you could do more? With an RF brokerage account, you can get priority access to local investment opportunities right as they come to the market. Never miss a bond or new share offering again. Plus, you can house all your investments in one place and benefit from expert investment advice. Contact us at brokerage@rfgroup.com to start doing more today. Some conditions apply. RF, money at work.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
Cancer touches far too many families, but hope still lives in community. Join the Jenny Dean Caring and Sharing Cancer Support Group for the Hope Walk 2026 on Saturday, June 13th at 6 a.m. at Goodman's Bay. Walk alongside survivors, patients, caregivers, and families as we come together in strength, healing, and support. Enjoy community fellowship, vendors, activities, and our inspiring Hope concert immediately following the walk. RedCancerSupportGroup.com. Let's take every step forward together for hope.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
For the nations, for the children, let peace, let peace, let peace reign. From the fallen.
Yeah, welcome back to Remark. We are here in the studio today talking all things man. We listen. We cleaning out the closet, we from the living room. Yeah, we cleaning out a lot of stuff today. We talking about some hot topics today, man. We touching some nerves today. And one of the things that I want us to discuss coming back from the break is marriage the ideal or is that always the best scenario to raise healthy, productive children? So I want to hear from you guys on that. What y'all think on that?
I would like to say,
when I say that, I want to preface it by saying, living in today's world that we're living in with all the stuff that's going on, with all the influences that are coming at us from different angles, is that the best way that you would say, you know what? A child cannot be productive unless their mommy and daddy married and living in the same house.
We would love for it to be like that, but it isn't so, because at the end of the day, there's a saying, teamwork make the dream work. And if you want a successful basketball team, you have to have teamwork.
Watch it now, speaking my
You
language.
understand what I'm saying? If you want a successful softball team, you have to have the right team.
Right.
So you could be married or not. The success of that relationship is all about the teamwork.
Okay.
You see, so
Because you know, you hear people say from time to time, oh, you know, the reason why our society is failing is because the man is out of the home, and the mother is doing all the work, and it's so hard for the single parent, and this, that, and the next, and all that other stuff. And you know, people would say from time to time, if you're not living in the house with your child, you can't have that positive effect to help groom your child into the person that they should be in life. You know, so yeah, go ahead.
Let me hit it, Butter Beats. For a brief second. My belief is this. God made everything for a purpose.
Right.
Marriage has a purpose. The purpose of marriage is to carry out an agenda that God has planned and to make that agenda go in succession.
Right.
That succession follows the line of legacy to your children, right? So the optimum choice is marriage.
Okay.
That's the optimum, right? I wouldn't run around that because we're in a delicate time, like you say. You have people right now believe they cat, they dog, they want to marry this, they want to marry that. So I ain't even clowning with that. It is marriage. God has designed marriage for children to be brought up between a male and a female. I would say it again for the viewership. Male and female. I'll put that to bed right there. However, is it a possibility God intervene and raise children in a single parent home that can be dynamic and carry out his will and fulfill their purpose? They can. But his plan, his will, his perfect will, not the permissive, is for children to be brought up in a marriage, in the construct of a marriage where the teamwork makes the dream work, like what the landlord said, that it can, and he can be able to watch this, he can be able to push his agenda. See, because at the end of the day, marriage ain't for oohs and ahs and picket fence, right? You are called to marry this woman. You are called to marry this man for a purpose and a reason. Right. Everything hinges upon purpose. I'll say it again. There's nothing you and I and anybody else inside the studio can lay their eyes upon that does not have a purpose attached to it, including our lives in marriage, including those children as well. So the optimum desire for God. Now, if we fail, if we mess it up as man and woman, and we don't do things we ought to do, right? If a man is not present, if his presence is there, but he's not present in the child's life or otherwise, or the woman's falling off on her part as well, then maybe out with the bad water.
Okay. So thank you, Mr. Thompson, for that one. Let's go to the phone lines. We got a caller coming through, Chris. Hello, caller. Welcome to Remark.
Hi, good day, folks. How y'all doing?
Oh, it's great. It's so good to hear a female voice today. I wanted to hear what the women have to say on some of these things that we're talking about today. Thank you for calling.
Well, anyway, I don't know if you can like what I have to say. But
I think I can love it. Just how you start off, I think it could be awesome.
Yeah, but what if you have, like, you're in a marriage, you know, you into the altar with this man, and you have 3 daughters, or even sons, and these children are watching this man knock you in your head.
Wow.
All right? And beating you, and telling, and I talking man in church, and telling you, listen, this what woman is all about. And all that. You better try to get out of that marriage, because what are you doing? You're showing the children that okay, you are women if it's boys there.
Right.
You is a woman. Hello.
Yes, hi. We got you. We're listening. We tune in.
Yes, sir.
Right, you are a woman. And you're doing what the Bible says you must do. But you ain't stand with him. And best thing for you is to get out that man, leave him and never look at him until they call you on you. Anything. That's all I say.
Pull up, selector. Pull up. I know, right? Hello? Hi, caller. Are you there?
Can I
Hello. All right. Yeah. Thank you for calling in, caller. We appreciate you. And that's a very, very interesting scenario that she painted, man. If y'all want to,
I sympathize with you, but I have to say wisdom is the principal thing. The Bible says principle, meaning this is the most important thing. wisdom is the principal thing. If any man is physically abusing you, you need to stay away from him. You need to get protection. Firstly, go to the authorities. If the man is physically abusing you and you're fearful of your life, and this is anybody who's listening, I don't think any man should be beating a woman. Wow. And this is why I said earlier, the first thing a man is to protect. How could you protect by beating?
Right.
Landlord touched it. He said, teamwork makes the dream work. How could I beat up my team member?
You can lose.
You can
That's
lose.
right. That's right.
You can lose.
Yeah.
Ian touched it too. Ian said, we have to be cohesive in this whole thing, and everything has a purpose.
Right.
The man's purpose is to lead, to guide, to protect. The man's supposed to protect the woman, protect the children. And like I touched earlier, the man is to teach.
Right.
If I am beating up my wife, this is okay.
Yeah.
I'm telling my son, if I had a son, this is what to do.
Yeah.
I know of a very prominent person, I won't call his name, and my wife and I had a discussion years ago, and we found out that this person used to beat his wife, and we were, awestruck. We couldn't believe it, because the person is the perfect person in society, in society's eyes.
Wow.
And I got in a conversation with somebody who knew the family, and the person said, his daddy used to beat his mother. And when we heard that, I said, oh, this is where that came from. So even though he's a very well-polished man in society, he saw that and he thought that was the correct way of doing things. So I say, a man's job is not to beat up his wife. So any woman out there who is getting abused, seek refuge. Get away from that. Okay, God meant marriage to be for a purpose. Key, purpose. If the man is not functioning in his, cannot fulfill purpose. The woman has a role to play. The man has a role to play. Yeah. Back to what you said earlier about is marriage the best model for raising a child? I would piggyback on what Ian said. It is the model that God created. Now, is it perfect? No. You're dealing with human beings.
Yep.
From you dealing with people, you'll never have perfection.
Nope.
But there are other things that you could implement.
Right.
They used to say a village will raise a child. Where the mother and father falls down is where the grandparents come into play. That's where the neighbors come into play, if they're sensible, that is. So there's more than just you one raising the child, but God meant it to be originally woman and man coming together, and out of that union you producing a righteous seed, meaning together. Because marriage is not man's idea. Marriage is God's idea.
Yep.
God said, whom he put together, let no man break asunder. Adam didn't even want a wife.
Watch it, Doc.
He didn't even care about a wife. He wasn't looking for a wife. He was busy doing what God told him to do. When he lifted up his head, he said, oh, hold on. That's bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. I will call a woman. God didn't call a woman. God called her Adam. He called her Eve.
Yes.
And then they came together and they had what they had. So my point is, God intended for it to be for the two. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole as to why, because there's so many reasons, but I'll say this. The man exhibits a side of God that only the man can exhibit.
Okay.
The woman exhibits a side of God that only a woman can exhibit. Women, their mothers, they're nourishing. That's the nourishing part of God. God calls himself the big-breasted one, meaning he's all-sufficient. That's the Hebrew translation.
Right.
Because in that ancient culture, the only way to feed a child was through the breast. So God said, I'm the big-breasted one. I'm the all-sufficient one. But we see that in the mother, nourishing. But yet God is protector. And he calls him, he says, Father. Father means source. So we see that, and that's why God, I really believe that's why God started off with the family. God started off with a man and a woman so that we could see God in creation. We could get a better idea and say, hold on, this is what God must be like. The two coming together. This is God. This is God, you see? So I believe that the marriage is definitely the cornerstone. It should be. But like landlord said, we living in a world that's not perfect. Things happen. People have kids out of wedlock. But still, the man have to play a role in marriage.
Yes, man. Thank you for that. I agree with everything y'all said so far on this topic of men and, raising kids and, whether or not marriage is the ideal situation. And like Ian said, there's God's perfect will and then there's his permissive. And so in a society, where we live, you're going to see the perfect at will and the permissive at work. Sorry, perfect at work and the permissive at work as well. And that's what makes God God. You know what we can do before we do it. Now, I want to read some information about abuse, because this is what we're on right now, but we're going to switch and talk about a few other things before the show ends. But abuse in our country is a big deal. A lot of times it's swept under the rug. And there are men and women in relationships that suffer abuse, right? Adult men and women that are in relationships. We're not going to get into the kids and all that stuff, but today we're talking about adults that suffer abuse. And one of the things that I want to read off is the Bahamas Women's Health and Wellbeing Survey says the country's first nationwide prevalent survey on gender-based violence revealed high lifetime rates of abuse against women. Subtopic, physical and or sexual violence. So it says 25.2%, which is 1 in every 4 of Bahamian women have suffered physical or sexual violence at some point in their lifetime. So 1 out of every 4 Bahamian women have suffered sexual or physical violence. Then there's other subtopic, physical intimate partner violence. So it says over 1 in 5 of women who have been in a relationship reported physical abuse by a male partner. Over 1 in 5. Psychological intimate partner violence. So this one is higher, 33.7%. It says 1 in 3. 1 out of every 3 women experience emotional or psychological abuse from an intimate partner. Economic, which is 9.4% of women experience financial control or economic violence from men in the Bahamas. Sexual partner violence. 8.2% of women experience sexual abuse within an intimate relationship. Now, some heavy stats right there. 1 in 4, 1 out of 5. I didn't even think about the economic abuse. That's a serious one right there. Economic.
I'd clarify it. Clarify that.
I'm thinking it means if you using money.
Yes.
And you have power to control, you don't pay bills, if you don't get what you want, you stop paying bills or you stop taking care of your responsibilities as a man financially, and therefore the family suffers or your woman suffer as a result of it. So that's what I'm thinking when it says economic abuse. Now watch this. Let's flip. Abuse perpetrated against men. Oh yeah, you can touch both of these today because we're talking about men today. So women abusing men. Now I don't know if you all grew up knowing any women who abuse men, but I didn't think it existed. I used to hear people talk about it, but I had a personal encounter with of mine's sister who used to do it to her husband at that time, and I was like, wow, this thing is real. So I used to see it. I'm just saying, but up until like that, I didn't really know that used to happen. I just thought it was the other way around, men, physically beating women and stuff like that. But it says national reporting systems capture fewer cases of men being abused due to cultural stigma. So you know that means sometimes men don't even report it. Because the police can laugh at you. You can't go to the police and say, "Boy, she just punched me in my belly." But it's your landlord laughing. That's exactly what the sergeant in the station can do. Say what? However, a dedicated study published in the late 2023 surveyed over 1,200 men in heterosexual relationships across the Bahamas to evaluate abuse perpetrated by women. Now watch this. Sexual abuse. This one gonna blow you all away, right? It says 14% of surveyed men reported being forced to have sex. Is that really anyhow, against their will? So the fella got in the bed in tight jeans. And she ripping it off. I don't know how, but big fight. I'm just saying, 14%. That's a high percentage of men fighting for their life in the bedroom. See, you're laughing. Y'all can't be no good police. Because trust me, anybody come in your station, they do them. Any man come to your physical abuse. It says unmarried men were statistically more likely to report being physically hurt by their female partner than married men. So, men, just so you understand, the quicker you get married, the less abuse you're going to take. The unmarried men get beat more. So, now, I don't know if they're getting beat so that they could hurry up marry the woman, but I'm just telling you what the survey says. You can interpret it how you want. Among married men, those who experienced unwanted sex were also highly likely to suffer physical injury. What? Among married men, those who experience unwanted sex. So these fellas was getting beat to have sex. Wow, what a time. This is in the Bahamas, though. Like, what? I need to meet some of these men. If y'all know any of them, send them on the show, man. Let's talk. Because I need to understand.
You need to meet the women and see why they don't have sex.
Yeah. That's another topic too. I'm just saying. I won't deal with the men first. Let me hear them, because sometimes women is talk. Men don't talk like that. That's one of our problems, right? They need an outlet.
That is the major. The major part of the problem right there.
Psychological abuse, emotional abuse from women toward men is highly prevalent, especially among unmarried couples. You heard that? Emotional abuse from women toward men is highly prevalent, especially among unmarried couples. So this is another good reason to get married. You know, if you want to minimize this emotional abuse, I guess get married. That's what this is saying. Factors like jealous control and ridicule scored significantly higher if the relationship involved non-monogamy or unwanted sex. Wow, that's crazy. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You got women who suffer abuse in our country, but you also have a lot of men who go through it. You know, I still don't understand, you know, how as a man, what have to be going on in your situation for a woman to beat you up to have sex with her? I don't. That's the serious one.
We laugh at that, right? Yep. But because we all have women in our lives who we want to be with. But let's just say you got in a relationship, you didn't intend for it to be
You by force, right?
just say, you know, all of us.
You 5'1" and she's 6'4". Okay.
No. Back in the day, you know, when you used to party and do anything.
Yeah, right.
You got in a fast, quick situation. Never intended it to be permanent.
Right.
And you ended up, the person is nice to you.
Okay.
So you found yourself there longer than you would have originally wanted to stay.
Okay.
Now you're in a relationship. You're trying to get out. You may not be, and I'm just saying this may be a man situation.
That's right.
You may not be economically sound and strong to stand on your own, to say have your own place. So you find yourself living with this woman.
Right. Oh, Lord.
So now you with this woman who you're not attracted to. Listen, paint the picture.
So all this
now.
from a body. She served you some food at the body.
I'm saying because you're trying to understand how.
Fellas, don't go to bodies and take this.
Yeah, definitely can start from there. But now you find yourself in a situation where this woman, she is paying your room and board.
Wow.
You're down on your luck. You don't have your job.
She hit me with a board too.
Yeah, definitely. Now she is telling you, hey, you got to pay the piper.
Yeah. What a time, eh?
What I want from you, I don't want no money because I'm paying the bills here. You just here.
Right.
So I want you for sex. But you find yourself not attracted to this woman. This woman is just not what you like. You may like XYZ and she is YZX. Totally different. To the point, and think about it now. We as men, we are stimulated visually.
Right.
Visually, that's our primary gate when it comes to stimulation.
Yep. Right.
So if you're physically not stimulated to this woman, as a matter of fact, you could get to the point where she turns you off. But yet she begging you for sex. And you could find yourself, I'm only trying to paint it.
I got you. I'm be following.
So you could find yourself as a man, you want to run, but where you can live? Where you can live? You will run, but you gotta rest your head somewhere, so you find yourself in this situation. So that could be a situation.
So I have a question for you. So how long ago did you come out of this relationship?
Well, if anybody knows my wife.
No, I mean before you met your wife. This obviously happened before.
I've been married 22
It
times.
sounds like you revisiting that day.
I never had a situation like that.
People have so much passion.
Mind you, I wondered that too. You know, I thank God I think I have the most beautiful wife, physically and emotionally. My wife is a gem.
Yeah.
Honestly. But I often wondered that too. I say this. We know of a person, I definitely won't say his name.
Right.
His wife used to beat him up.
Oh, you okay?
And his wife used to make him sleep on the couch.
Wow.
And his wife used to physically abuse him and take sex when she wanted. He played the woman role.
Wow.
He didn't know how he got.
Wow.
And when he first told me his story, I laughed.
Wow.
And then he told me these stories. This is where I'm getting this
from. Okay.
He found himself in this situation.
Yeah.
You know, and off air.
I know what time it is. Yeah,
but it's real.
It might sound like a joke, but hey,
it sounds like a joke to us, but it happens.
Men go through it, and then another side of it too that was mentioned in the survey that I read was the mental and the psychological abuse. See, because that's what's caused a lot of people, men and women, to trip. You know, when you're getting psychologically abused from somebody, it's like, I remember when I was young and I was green. You know, I used to date women who was older than me and who, they had the game down back. You see what I'm saying? And my old lady gave me some advice, which I don't think was good advice at the time, but it was advice. I said, Mommy, man, you know, I getting ready to date now, you know, would give me advice on treatment. As long as you love them and you treat them with respect, they can give that back to you. You can get it. You know, you're shaking your head. And so in my mind, I took that to mean I could pick any woman from anywhere and just give her love, and I getting that back. But no, it didn't work that way for me. And so I ended up experiencing at a young age the psychological abuse. I never got physically beat up, but the psychological abuse.
Came close, couple that.
No, the psychological was worse. I think I would have preferred the physical over the psychological, because it was really, really bad, to the point where I ended up with the Macoby.
Wow.
You know, a couple times.
Wow.
You know, it couldn't eat for like 2-3 weeks, no food, couldn't go to work, stress out.
Everything.
Nothing.
Full
That's
Macoby.
serious. I had the full one. Worse than COVID. You know, but I'm just saying that psychological abuse is a serious thing. That's why a lot of men commit suicide. You know, a lot of men hit the bottle.
Yep, let's talk about it.
A lot of men go hit crack. You know, they go on drugs. You see what I'm saying? And so the psychological part with men is talk a little bit about why is it that men talk as much as we should when it comes to our problems. I want each of y'all touch on that a little bit before we go to a break.
We as men, we won't feel.
What's
like
our problem? What is our problem, man? What's wrong with us?
You know, we won't feel like we have it all together. You know, that we don't feel pain, but we do. You know, like we were brought up as kids to don't cry, don't show.
Suck it up, yeah.
Yeah, suck it up. But we all feel pain, and we go through situations, and a lot of times you got to be so careful who you share your pain with, because people just use your pain against
It's
you.
you. Mm-hmm.
You see, so that is why, one of the reasons why a lot of men try to keep everything bottled up or take it to the bottle.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
But it is what it is.
Anybody else want to touch on that?
I also feel, aside from that, I think it's also a cultural issue too.
Culture, yeah. That's a big part, yeah.
Particularly in our culture, male bravado is celebrated as Lord, you know what I mean? You know, big, strong, tough, you know, grab goatskin drum and beat that drum straight through Bay Street. Culture, you see fellas beating goatskin drum. The fellas, I mean, when I was younger, when I was amazed, I was a little boy, I see fellas particularly fellas who could beat goatskin, they forearms, they be like, Popeye. You know what I mean? I used to be amazed at that, you know what I mean? And to me, that as a little boy, that was like a symbolism, but it's strong, eh?
Yeah.
You know? So I think culturally, it's a major thing. But aside from that, I think in our DNA, in our build-up or makeup as men, we gravitate, and I go into some of this, we gravitate to every and anything that seems powerful.
Okay.
Even if we are not powerful or we don't feel empowered, we gravitate to what is powerful. That's why we gravitate to leaders who seem to have power. Women who seem, you know what I mean? So anything that screams or speaks to weakness, we shy away from.
Can a woman be a man's peace? Because, you know, you listen to social media and everybody, I want a woman who can be my peace, man. I need a woman who...
Negatory.
You know, I need a woman who can be my peace.
Nope.
You know, I want that number one requirement. I want a woman who can be my peace, man. She can't be my peace. She ain't making no sense, Chad. You know? So, is that even possible? And I don't even know where that idea came from. In terms of a woman being a man's peace. But is that realistic? Is that feasible? Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that before we go to break.
Men are not looking for to me, a man that says that is not necessarily, even if he's not aware of it, he's not looking for his peace, he's looking for a pacifier.
Okay.
Because you'll find that, and I go back a little further, all right, as brothers, you know, all of us around the age, none of us, I think, is 50 yet. So we're in that sphere, right? But we go back into the men of our generation, right?
Gonna be 52.
Man, God be the glory, brother. Jeez, you look good.
I'm 50.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I feel good. Just being around you, I feel I can get some of that.
Right?
Peace, but 50 also.
No.
I used to get beat too, you know.
Wow, my Lord. Oh man. Well, anyway,
Straighten me up.
Let me refashion that. Let's go back into the generation of our time. Most of us have come up where we've seen homes being raised by women.
Yeah. Okay.
So you will find that every instruction you had was from a woman. You went to the school, the teacher's a woman.
Right.
You go to a government institution, whatever, you see a woman greeting you. Woman this, you know. So most men have heard an instruction come all their life pretty much from a woman.
Right.
Including the one that starts at the very beginning from the breast. Yeah, boy. Mama, that baby boy, you know, mama boy.
Stonkus, yeah, stonkus.
Stonkus. So a man in his mind, whether he wants to admit it or not, he is prone to gravitate the woman that pacifies that.
Yeah.
So you will find that becomes a call in his heart to find a female that brings his peace. But I can tell you this: if you can't determine or find your peace before you meet a woman, she can be a problem.
You'd be in pieces.
Oh yeah, it can be in pieces. you said it right. So because I can be real, my brother. And as I finish with this, there is a reason why, if you look at Proverbs, there are multiple, not just one, there's several scriptures where God tells a man,
chapters,
find a woman who will not disrupt your peace. It's better for a man to be on the rooftop than to be with a brawling. It's better for a brawling woman with a contentious raindrop. Listen to me. Men value their peace. My brother, you need to have peace within yourself. Don't look for peace from another woman. Please. Father's Day coming up, don't look for what they could do to bring you peace. No. I can tell you now. Because in this society, our culture is we get crab and rice and maybe a little bit of hanky-panky later on that evening.
Okay.
And that's it.
But I like to add
and peace.
Yeah, P-I-E-C.
Yeah. Like the add to what
London, that's what you were singing about? We need peace. Oh, now all these years I didn't know he was crying out for help, Landlord. I didn't know he was crying out for help. What you see how God is working? Crying out for help, bro? Wow. So wait, we can hug you after the show. We can hug you after the show, man.
Yeah, we can hug you. But to piggyback on what my brother said, man, I believe truly that God made man, and to piggyback on what Ian said, the woman should be a helpmeet. And if you could use the term pacifier, I guess, but a woman is not meant to be the man's peace.
No. Right.
You should have peace before you have a woman.
I agree.
You should be whole before you have a woman. If you're not whole, how you gonna take on a whole woman? How you gonna lead a woman?
That's hashtag.
You gotta be crazy to talk about lead a woman.
You end up in a hole.
If you don't have peace. So I believe a man needs to look within. Firstly, God must be God. He calls himself the Prince of Peace for a reason. He provides peace. As a matter of fact, Scripture says in Psalms 23, He restored my soul. The soul has to be restored, and only God can do that. So I believe God has to be the first and foremost as to why many men don't have peace, because they have no God in them. They're connected to the Prince of Peace.
My Lord.
If you're not connected to the Prince of Peace, you ain't gonna have no peace.
And even there's a scripture too that says, God says, if your mind is stayed on me, be kept in perfect
peace.
Yes, sir.
So that's the answer. The answer is
and you
God.
wouldn't be singing, we need peace. That's the last part of the scripture. That's the Hebrew and the Greek.
I will never look at that song the same.
And then you just bring out this new one. Peace must reign.
Right.
That's
true. That's part two.
Peace must reign.
Well, landlord, hey, we can hug you after the show. All these subliminal messages.
Yeah, you know.
But yeah, that's true. But see, the thing with peace is this, like you say, Lorenzo, and I agree with you. The break, we'll talk a little bit about that, and then we'll close out the show shortly. But tune in, man. We got the lines open, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. The text lines, 422-4796. We're here on Remark today, talking all things, men. It's all about healing and being restored. That's what we're talking about today. See you in a bit.
Swords to plowshares, guns to grace. Only love can heal this place. Every tribe, every race. Let mercy take violence place. Church arise, shine your light. Stand for justice, stand for right. From the islands to the Middle East, we declare the reign of
always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
Mommy, guess what I did in school today? Hold on, sweetie. Mommy's sending a text. But Mommy, my teacher said that you're not supposed to text and drive. I know what I'm doing. Oh, look, Mommy, the Smith twins. Mommy, watch out!
In 2017, approximately 54 people died as a result of traffic accidents. A percentage of these fatalities occurred as a result while driving. Just taking your eyes off the road for 5 seconds can increase your chance of crashing. Remember, even the smallest voice counts. Texting, 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 dropping it. Brought to you by UB Radio and Guardian Radio .9.
Guess who's back? It's that time again for the 31st annual Michael Scootery Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic.
Bring it on now, let's go.
Whether you're a player or a fan, you don't want to miss this one. The action starts July 13th at the Hope Center. Log on to peaceonthestreets.com and register. Come on, everybody, we're going! That's the Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic, where we shoot hopes instead of guns. Game time.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Record script. Scholar music. Y'all ready for this? You run your bad mouth in me till the big minute. I winning. You run your lying on my name, trying to bring me to shame while I winning. I winning.
Oh yeah, welcome back to Remark. Boy, this topic is heating up today. We talking about all things man. We done talk about everything from raising children to being a good married man to you needing peace in your life. You know, both pieces, the PEACE and the PIECE. You know, we done talk about all that today. So if you're just tuning in, you know, feel free to, the phone lines are open 323-6232. 325-4316, 325-4259, and the text lines are 422-4796. We're winding down right now. We got a few more questions to answer for the listening public, but I want to read a text. This texter says, "Good afternoon, hosts and guests of Remark and Bahamas. First and foremost, a real man is one that is born from birth." That's a heavy one right there. We can talk about that next week. Now we can enter into the realm of a man from the point of dealing with and understanding their responsibilities and obligations in this life's journey. It is quite easy to always want to see a real man as being one who is successful in various ways, namely in business and achieving things tangible. That in the eyes of some folks would deem as being a real man. That's true. Such achievements is indeed commendable, but the glowing character of a man that stands firm in the face of challenges that confront him daily, and he endures, there is a real man for you. Thank you so much, texter, for that. You sound like you write books and stuff for that type of text.
Good,
yeah, that's
good.
heavy.
Very good.
Very good verbiage. So we have a lot of women that's going to listen to the show today and also in future because they're going to post the show online. But what I want you all to help the women out. Everybody get 3 minutes on this one. I need you all to let the women out there know. Give them some good advice how to identify and choose a good, real man in their lives. Because, you know, a lot of women get flack for picking clowns. You know, man, a lot of real men in the community like, man, these women, they ain't want a real man. They want to get these joking niggas and blah, 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 blah. And so, you know, we want to be able to help them today to be able to say, listen, if you're looking for a husband, if you're looking for a companion, you know, business partner, whatever it is you may be looking for in a man, you know, this is how you should choose. And these are some characteristics, some qualities, some things that you could identify to help you pick a real good man in your life. All right, anybody want to start?
Well, I guess I'll start. Firstly, you said something very important. You listed off a number of positions that people hold. If you're looking for a business partner, if you're looking for this, that, or next, that tells me that you have to have criteria. You have to have certain things that you deem is valuable, that you deem things that are valuable to you. So, if you're looking for a partner, the Bible says you should not be unequally yoked with an unbeliever, but that goes, let's take that further. I believe that you should not be unequally yoked with a spouse.
Okay.
Now, why I say that is this. There's a term that says opposites attract, which is true.
Right.
I don't think for 1 minute that you should be alike, but you should definitely, you understand me? You should not mirror each other. You should be like the left hand aids the right hand.
Okay.
The left hand fits exactly. The
Complement.
left hand complements and fits exactly with the right. That means you're opposite, but you complement each other. So therefore, women out there, if you're looking for the right husband, you must firstly know yourself.
Okay.
You have to know who you are. You have to know where you're going. You have to know your vision. Secondly, you have to understand, now this may ruffle a lot of feathers, but when God had in his mind marriage, God made the woman for the man.
Okay.
Now, I know that may hit some people wrong. What that means is this. The woman comes alongside the man to push the vision that God gave the man. Now, that means if the man you come alongside don't have a vision, you need to cross him off from the beginning. Because where could a man take a woman if he don't know himself where he's going? So the man, you must see in the man these qualities. The man can lead me. Like I said earlier, even though a woman may be a strong woman, she wants a man who can still do it.
In my experience with growing up around women and seeing how a lot of women think and act when it comes to men and picking men, what you're saying is biblical, it's true. However, the reality is a lot of women are not highly attracted to men who have it all together.
Now, what you call all together?
When I say all together, who know where they going and what they want.
Now, see,
watch this now.
That's a good point.
Watch this now, because a lot of them want to be able to not just be a helpmeet, but they want to be able to make him into what they want him to be, right? But if you secure within yourself sometimes, and if you know where you're going and what you're doing, a lot of women get intimidated by that at times as well. So what do you say to those women who looking to build a man? You know,
well, there's nothing wrong with building a man, but at the same time, the man, he is the man.
Okay, so watch this now. Let me give you a scenario. Girl went to university, got her degree, come back, got a good job. Fella come and wash her car one day. End up in a good conversation. She said, you know what, this man got a lot of potential. But she see him smoking on the side. You know, he take a little break to go smoking cigarettes. He ain't got no car. He just starting the next. All he interested in is washing car. But let's say she's a big time lawyer. In her mind, okay, he ain't where he wanna be. I like him. You know, he have a certain swag about him that I like. I want to help make him into what I think he could be. Versus the guy who right next to who getting his car clean, he just finished his college degree. He now get a good job, and he trying to talk to her, but she ain't into him. She into the dude who washing the car because she want to bill him. She feel like the dude who next to him in that regard in terms of the potential dangers of taking that route. Because it could work out. It could work out where some women have actually helped men become better.
It could work out.
But a lot of times, if you're dating with a dude who got that hood in him, who ain't really into changing, or who got a lot of trauma and all these different things going on in his life, and he just have low standards and he thinking low, but then the woman feel like I could help bring him up to my level or where I think he should be.
Let me, and I'm glad you asked that question. I had a class about last year, and we got in casual conversation. And I asked the young ladies in the class, I said, what do you think will attract a man and keep a man? And this is one of my grade 11 classes. Mm-hmm. And one of the more provocative students, she shouted out, Mr. Strawn, my shape. And I laughed. I said, no, that didn't keep the man. I said, this is the order in which I believe a woman should vet the man. This is how you do it. Date the man. Now, why I say that? That may sound simple, but we get it wrong in our society. We think dating is sleeping around. That's not dating. You could date your boss. You could date your mother, your father. Date simply means to go out in a different environment where you can get to know the person.
All right.
That's all.
All right there. We want to go to the phone lines. We got a caller. Welcome, caller. Welcome to Remark.
Good afternoon to all the gentlemen that is in the room.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
I tuned in a little late, but I catch on to what you're speaking about. I think that every male can be a man. Every man can be a male, but every male can't be a man.
True.
Okay.
Penis use a male.
Right.
But
Okay.
that doesn't make you a man.
Okay, I got you now. I got you.
Okay? Now, another thing, too. Like I always tell my daughter, when you talk about you dating these young men, make a host and watch how they conversate, watch how they act with their mommy, watch how they treat their sister. 9 out of 10 chances they can treat you just like that.
Okay.
If they don't have no respect for their mommy, they don't have no respect for their sisters, the same thing is going to happen to you. I guarantee you that. Because you use a woman, you ain't no different. You know, be careful. What's the conversation that they have around their female friend?
Yeah.
Watch how they can. That's the same. See, somebody who's trying to date, they put out their best, but they only can pretend for so long.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Eventually, the truth, the beast can come out. Eventually, if there's a beast and that person that's coming up, if you be around long enough, or if you allow you to live long enough, you'll see it.
Yeah.
You know, so when you date, go around, make sure that anytime you're dating a man, and he can't take you around his mommy host, he can't take you around his sister.
Yeah.
Check that.
So you're saying, thank you so much.
All the young ladies, then when you start talking with dating, check how the fella treats his female part, his female people.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and closing, I said it the other day in a male conversation. Every man, I don't know how I would like for one of you gentlemen to comment on it. Every man has a woman part in them.
All right, elaborate.
A feeling, a certain feeling.
Okay.
A certain. See, you have to feel a lion can't be a cub. Can't be a lion. But a lion has the feelings of a cub because he was there before. But what I trying to say, a man feels. Okay, let me ask you the question this way then. Do you think males have a feminine part in them?
All right, we'll touch on that, but thank you for calling. We appreciate you. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. So, do men have a feminine side in them? I want you to finish your last thought because I want Landlord and Ian to also comment on the advice to women as well. But then you could also touch on the feminine part in men. Make it as quick as possible. You only got like 5 minutes left.
My last thought, as I was saying, I think all women should go the route of dating before they call it a relationship.
Okay.
Now, dating, again, is simply getting to know the person.
Listen, right.
That's all it is. Dating should be no strings attached.
Right.
Male, anybody who would listen, my cousins, anybody. Dating has no strings attached. The woman could pay for the meal if they choose to eat. Because why? No strings attached. When my daughters go out on little friendly dates, me and my wife, we give them money.
Okay.
We don't have it whereas you going on and this man thinking he's investing in you. No.
Right.
It's only you getting to know him.
Right.
Why? And this is why sex is so dangerous before marriage. Because the minute the woman goes and she has sex with the man, now she feels now committed and the man feels indebted. And you end up in something that you were never meant to be. So firstly, date. Get to know the individual. If you say the woman is a CEO, she finds some form of attraction to the guy who's washing the car and she feels she could groom him or whatever, date him. Meaning simply go buy him a hot patty and a soda and talk with him and see where his head is.
Right.
From that first conversation, you can see his head ain't like he making no sense, then cross him off the list.
Right.
You see? So firstly, you date. Secondly, after you date the person for a moment, and you don't find some form of sense, like the caller said, get to know the person, go talk to the family members, whoever, then you get into courting. This is when now you call yourself, you in a relationship.
Right.
You
So,
know,
landlord, I want
you
to hear
see?
from you. I want to hear from Ian quick. And then I got one more question to ask you all for you all to sum it up.
I agree with Lorenzo. As a female, if you looking to find a good man, become a good private investigator.
Okay.
Start investigate. Because even with me, when people send me just on social media, you send me a friend request, if we can do any connections, even before I press click to approve you, I go on your page and I investigate that type of lifestyle. I don't want to connect with anybody. And so the same way as a female, you should be able to investigate who are these men you're connecting with, who are they hanging around with, before you put any emotions in before you connect with them.
Thank you, man. That's a good one. Ian, what you say?
When you're talking about the question is, you said the question is again, to refresh that for me. The question is,
just some quick advice, because we only got like 3 more minutes left. Quick advice on how a woman could choose.
How a woman could choose. Okay, well, first of all,
and I got one more question to ask.
So to me, quickly, I think it's a matter of
she could pick a good
perspective.
man.
I think it's a matter of perspective, because a woman, I don't think she's supposed to be looking to begin with. You know what I mean? I think she's supposed to be in the position where she's focused on I guess, like Brenda was saying, her vision and what she's called to do, and in doing so, that positions her to have the mindset of what is called a wife. Now, if she's looking to be a girlfriend, that's a different story.
Okay.
But if she's looking to be a wife, she must spend more time, because I was saying briefly on off air that I think a wife is a distinction from a woman. A wife is a discipline, when a woman is a biological construct.
Okay.
Right? She's spending more time sharpening the discipline of being a wife. And as according to the model of Scripture, a man finds her. Right? And when he finds that, he then now expresses his call, his vision, what he wants to do. And then she comes alongside, like Renzo says, to become a help. I like what you highlighted, a help meet, not a mate. Meaning she meets the need to facilitate the call.
Let's stop right there. Last question. Everybody, we got 30 seconds each. Any man listening to this today, anywhere ranging from 18 years old to 100. Well, not 100 literally, but let's say 18 to 60, right? But if every man listening could hear just one piece of advice from you today, what would it be? One piece of advice on being a man. What advice would you give them?
Get to know yourself.
30 seconds, yes.
Get to know yourself.
Good stuff.
Connect with God. Learn how to forgive. And if you make mistakes, forgive yourself, take responsibility, and move on.
And move on. Boom, like that. Lorenzo, what you got?
I'll say connect with God and take responsibility.
Awesome.
The word responsibility means to respond, the ability to respond. So connect with God, ask God for wisdom so you can have the ability to respond to whatever God has placed in your lap.
Awesome. What do you say, Ian?
I'd say to our listeners, man out there, heal. Heal first.
Yeah.
Before you can invite anybody else in your life, you have to make sure your life is adequate.
Boom.
Heal.
Thank you, gents. Thank you for coming on the show today. Remark. Each and every Sunday with your boy, Mr. Beads. My peace of Lords. We need peace song, man. Because you're going to need it at some point in time in your life. What the other one name? Peace what?
Peace must reign.
Peace must reign. Good. Yes, those songs. Download them.
Must reign.
Get them in your playlist. Yes, you're going to need them, especially Father's Day coming up. All right, once again, it's your boy, Mr. Beads. See y'all next week, Sunday. God bless.
Thank you, sir.
In my fresh new car one day, you see, you couldn't believe that mighty God was blessing me. You have your friends spreading rumors, say I did. Say I can sell my soul, that's why I look this way. Boy, where you been when I was slaving 9 to 5? And where you been when I was working overtime? I didn't see you when I was making sacrifice. But now you full of talk like you know my life. You ran your bad mouth in me, tell the people crazy things about me while I winning. I winning. You ran your lying on my name, trying to bring me to shame while I winning. I winning.